So this is how I would learn photography if I had to start over. For context, I've been doing photography professionally for the last 10 years, which included weddings, portraits, concerts, and landscapes. And undoubtedly, I've made mistakes along the way that really slowed me down. Please, Fuji God, please. But I've also picked up a few secrets that sped up the process. And in this video, I want to share with you guys 5 concepts to fast track you to becoming a photographer with a pro mindset. Whether you end up turning this hobby into a career or simply just want to take better photos, this video is made for you. Starting with step number 1, do your research and get out there. As with any skills, it's going to take you a lot of practice, but that can be hard when we don't know what to practice on. But the easiest place to get started is with what you have and where you are. And believe me, your hometown may not be as boring as you think. Go ahead and type in your hometown plus photography on Google, or even your hometown wedding photography. Chances are there's at least one photographer that has come before you and has tried to capture something around there. Maybe it's a park, maybe it's a hotel, maybe it's a church or a city hall. It doesn't matter. Save those images on your phone and plot out the locations on Google Maps. And your next step is to go out and replicate those shots to the T with any camera gear that you own. If all you have is just a phone, just use that. And pay attention to what's in the framing of those photos. What time of the day they were taken, what angle did they shoot it from, was it high, was it low, what lens were they using, was it 1x, no, maybe it looks like a 2x. The most important thing is to get it exactly how you see it in that photograph to the best of your ability. And that's it. So personal story time. I used to go to college in the middle of nowhere, Riverside, California. It's a desert out there, folks. No fancy skylines, no beaches, nothing. And for 4 years, I've never bothered to explore it. I never left more than 3 miles from campus unless it's to go home for the weekend or go to some other city. But there is this hotel, this wedding venue called the Mission Inn, and I had to shoot a wedding there years after I graduated. And when I looked at it on Google Maps, I was like, what the? This was there the whole time? It's an incredibly gorgeous venue, really nice Spanish mission architecture with a hint of European charm. So I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos on it, I looked at other wedding photographs, and created a mood board, which is a selection of images that I know I needed and wanted to get. Not only that, but I took logistics into consideration. What does the indoor ceremony look like? How much lighting do I need to bring? Where can I post a couple during high noon? And believe it or not, most pros in any field would have done research weeks before showing up to a shoot and built a shot list beforehand. In fact, being good at research is key to becoming a pro photographer. Step number 2, study 1 to 2 styles max. Here's the secret to photography. It doesn't matter what you're photographing because the basic concepts are all the same. If you master the exposure triangle, shutter speed, aperture, ISO, you can take photos of anything. So pick 1 to 2 styles max, whether it's portrait, street, landscape, and do as much research as possible. And you don't need me to tell you this, but there are a ton of free online resources out there. So personal story time number 2. I used to do video interviews of rock bands when they play in LA. And there was this one time where the manager said that the band did not have the time to do an interview with me, but they can give me a photo pass to shoot the show. And at this point in time, I have done zero professional photography, let alone a low-light concert photography. So I showed up to the show with my potato-ass camera setup. It's literally the beginner's Canon camera kit that you can pick up at Costco for $500 with a shotgun Rode mic on the top that I was gonna use to interview the band. But I popped that baby into P mode because, you know, P stands for pro, and just sprayed and prayed. But man, did I have a good time. The band had an incredible presence, the music was booming, and I was just vibing and just bursting away. I was hooked. The photos, on the other hand, were crap, but I was hooked. Afterwards, I looked up on YouTube how to get better at concert photography, and lo and behold, it was
Jared pulling Frono's photo
that had the best concert photography tutorials at the time, and I watched him religiously. I learned all the lingos that concert venues use. I learned how to shoot in front of the pit as well as the back of the soundboard. I even picked up any of the lenses that he recommended and just... oh man, I miss doing concert photography. It was probably the highlight of my career. I got to shoot some of my favorite bands, become fans of new ones, and I met a ton of great industry friends. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. All of those skills that I've learned studying concert photography literally applied to anything that I did at the time and what I'm doing today. Low light, event photography, travel photography. Again, the basic settings are all the same. Step number 3. Buy used gear. If you're new to photography, do not buy new gear. Or at least you don't have to splurge on the latest and greatest. Here's another secret for you. Cameras within the last 10 to 15 years can still give you amazing results, similar to what today's camera can produce. As long as it's an APS-C or full frame sensor and the camera can shoot in RAW, you will still get professional results. Now, I know some people are gonna be hesitant buying used gear, and I get it. We don't know who owned the gear previously, where it's been, what kind of potential damage it might have taken. The only precaution I have is to simply shop from reputable stores with great return policies. And many of them have up to 14 to 30 days money back guaranteed, even if you're not satisfied with the gear at the end. I shop a lot of pre-owned stuff from B&H, Best Buy, and even Amazon Warehouse. There are even online sites dedicated to just buying and selling used gear like KEH Camera. And the upside to all of this is you save a lot of money and you can use those money to buy even more discounted gear. That's exactly how I grew my collection of gear. All the money I saved, I invest into lighting equipment, extra batteries, etc. Pretty much anything that will make my work better and my job easier. Don't be afraid to buy used gear. Step number 4, edit your own photos. All right, so you studied, you went out, you shot, now what? Well, hopefully you shot in RAW, because this is gonna give you the most data that you can pull from to manipulate the colors and lighting of your photographs. But we're not gonna get into the philosophy and the step-by-step on how to edit a photo in this video. If you're interested in that though, my friend Professor Hines have a dedicated editing section in our Ultimate Guide to Street Photography, where he'll show you step-by-step how to achieve the look that you want. And that entire guide is a free 1-hour course, by the way, produced by us on how to crush it in street photography. It's an absolute great watch. You'll learn so much from photography from it, regardless if you do street photography or not. Just a lot of damn good photography advices. Over 1 million people have enjoyed it, and you will too, so click up here to queue it up. Anyways, right. Edit your own photos, because you can learn what mistakes you've made during the shoot, and that will instantly make you a better photographer the next time. Maybe you took the photo, saw on your screen, and it looks good to you, but when you open it back on your computer, you notice your photo is not in focus. Maybe the focus point was off, maybe your shutter speed was too slow. Write these mistakes down, Google or ChatGPT how to fix them, so that you'll know not to make the same mistake the next time. And finally, step number 5. Pick up a pro gig. I know, it sounds scary, it's literally throwing you into the deep end, but it's the quickest way to level up in photography. And most pros will tell you 90% of the job isn't actually taking good pictures. It's actually problem solving. Oh, the lighting is not good. How can we adjust it? Oh, the bride and groom are late for the ceremony. How can we get romantic photos of them before the sun sets? The model has a massive tattoo on her back and the brand doesn't want it in the final images. What the fuck do we do? A lot of these issues are lessons that later become skills you can utilize for any photography. You'll learn how to shoot quicker, you'll find ways to manipulate the light better, and you will learn how to use makeup for that tattoo. Or just get good at Photoshop. So try wedding photography, try real estate photography, try fashion photography. And I know a lot of people who have another whole full-time job, but they make photography their side hustle. And on that note, here's a bonus tip for you. Keep an updated portfolio. You never know who's looking. Maybe they want to buy one of your work as a print, licenses for an ad, or even hire you to do a job. I cannot tell you how many times this has happened to me and my friends, and to this day, we still flub on this. Rather than scrambling to attach the photos via email, do so with a professional looking website, such as Squarespace, who happens to be a sponsor of this video. You can build your own, or you can use one of their templates to display your photographs. Put a bio, a profile photo so people know they're hiring a friendly face, and make sure your contact button is nice and visible and it actually goes into your inbox. And when you're ready to launch, you can use my code JASONVONG to save 10% off your first website or domain. I've been using Squarespace for years now. It really is a great website for a photographer's portfolio. Anyways, click here for some more awesome photography tips, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.